Hey guys, today I just wanted to let you all know about a website that I think a lot of you might be interested in, and it's a good alternative for buying and selling games as opposed to having to do it on eBay, and that website is GameGavel.com. Now some of you may already be familiar with GameGavel because it was previously known as ChaseTheChuckwagon.com. However, they changed their name over to GameGavel because it sounded more like an auction site for video games. So the idea behind GameGavel is it's an auction-based website for buying and selling video games and not having to do it on eBay. Now, anybody out there that's tried selling games on eBay recently knows that the fees are just ridiculous. You know, you list the game for $30, and then by the time you sell it and all the fees are out of the way, they've taken like $6 or $7 out of your pocket. Their fees are pretty ridiculous. And anybody that's tried buying games on eBay recently that doesn't really have immediate access to PayPal, you know it's very annoying trying to find a seller that will accept, money orders or checks or anything like that. Luckily for GameGavel, their aim is to cut the fees to as low as possible. There's absolutely no listing fees for any auctions whatsoever. eBay charges all kinds of fees for listing buy it nows and everything. GameGavel, 100% free to list your auctions if you want to sell your games. If you're a buyer, the sellers aren't restricted to having to only accept PayPal, because for those of you that didn't know, not that long ago, eBay did away with allowing money orders and checks as forms of payment. They really just want the sellers to use PayPal. So those of you that don't have PayPal, you're a little bit out of luck. They do have other alternatives, but really they don't want sellers accepting money orders and checks because of security reasons and all that kind of stuff. People reporting items not received, blah, blah, blah. But if you really have to use money orders and checks, GameGavel will allow it if their sellers are willing to accept it. And if you go to their site and you check out the links to their different fees for sellers out there, you'll notice that their fees are much, much cheaper than eBay's final value fees. They're almost half, maybe even less. So if you're a seller out there and you want to sell your games and you don't like to do it on eBay, GameGavel is a very good alternative. Another nice thing is that the website is categorized by system, so on the left navigation bar you'll see that it has all the different systems. It'll tell you how many auctions are up for that system. They also categorize it by retro, modern. They have memorabilia sections, all different kinds of sections, so that if you know what you're looking for, you'll be able to find it right away. Now another nice feature is if you're not really sure if you want to buy from a seller there that has no or just a couple of feedbacks, they actually have a very nice reference feedback system on there where they'll have links to all the different video game websites out there that have trading forums, so you'll be able to check out their feedback on different video game websites so that you can kind of get a good reputation for the seller that you're about to buy from. Now GameGavel is beyond just a ghost town of zero feedback sellers. There's actually a lot of auctions and buy it nows up at one time. Right now, I think there's at least 1,500, 2,000 different auctions up spread across all the systems and games. So it's definitely a pretty active auction website, and that's why I wanted to do this video, because it's important to have websites like this that want to push eBay to the side and not have to deal with their extreme fees. So I wanted to support them. I'm not getting paid to do this. They never asked me to do a video like this. I'm doing it for them because I want to support their website and I want to help them. I want to see their website grow. Because wouldn't it be great, maybe it takes 3 years, 4 years from now, 5 years, but wouldn't it be great in a couple of years' time to have a great alternative to eBay for buying and selling video games, where you can go on the GameGavel and they'll have all the rare systems on there, sellers, with thousands of games listed, which it's nowhere near that right now. I'm not going to lie, it's not that populated on there right now, but wouldn't it be great to have something like that in the future? Now, there are websites out there like this right now, like Game Trades and GoozeX and stuff like that, but there really hasn't been a successful video game auction website to come along. Others have tried in the past, but they kind of failed. Chase the Chuckwagon, which is also known as GameGavel now, is the most successful one, and I really want to push this website to go in the right direction. So if any of you out there have video games that you have just sitting around collecting dust and you want to try selling them with absolutely no fees to start listing your items, you're only going to get billed a small amount if they sell, so that it's low risk for high payoff here. Go on GameGavel, try selling your games, and if you're a buyer, they have some really nice stuff to check out on there. Recently I did that video where I showed off the promotional items that I bought. That GameCube floor mat, I got that from GameGavel. So you can check them out, see, they might have something on there that interests you. Go on there, show them your support. Go on their forums, interact with the community, and that's another thing that GameGavel has going for them. They want to bring a community aspect to their auction-based website. So they have a forum for their members to talk about auctions that they'll be posting, items that they want, just video game talk in general. And then they also have other things such as a monthly podcast, which I listened to for the first time a couple of days ago. They do a monthly podcast that's 5 to 6 hours long. You know, it has community-based aspects to it. They talk about all different types of games, you know, tips on all different kinds of stuff. I mean, it was ridiculous. Straight up 6 hours talk about video games. They have an internet radio. They have all these different things that bring the community together to make it more close-knit than just, you know, that big, vast, open world that is eBay. So check out GameGavel.com, guys. Let me know what you think. Let them know what you think. Give them suggestions for improvements. They're always looking for it. And definitely thank SoCal Mike for organizing and putting together that website.